Just got back from the thrift store. We picked up, by we, I mean I picked up 23 items. It says 24 on there because I rounded up to the career center. So spent $139 on 23 items at the thrift store. One thrift store I went to, I was there for about an hour. So we're going to go through those 23 items. I'll show you exactly what I picked up. No exceptions. You can count it off down below in the chat if you want to. What's up, Kit Cat's Closet? Thanks everyone for tapping the screen. We got 48 quick, 69, 59, 76 quick likes. I see you tapping the screen. I appreciate that. Ruth, what's up? Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate it. Welcome IG, welcome TikTok, welcome Facebook, welcome YouTube. All right, let's jump into this. If you're watching this on recording, drop the word thrift in the chat. THRIFT. So I'm THRIFT. That's how you spell thrift. Drop that down below in the chat so I know that you're watching the recording. If you're just popping in, hit that like button. That helps me out. All right, here's the first item I'm going to show you. There's a reason I want to show you this one first. It kind of has that thrift store smell, which I don't really encounter too much, but this one definitely has it. And I want to get this hanging outside, get some fresh air. One of the best finds of the day. I don't know if you know this brand right here. The brand is, I don't know it. Load and Fry. Load and Fry. It's made of wool, polyester, and cashmere. There's the brand right there. Let me know if you know this. Thanks for dropping thrift in the chat. TikTok live. There we go. So full length overcoat. It's got the nice wood or leather buttons. They look like wood, but leather buttons on there. Full zip. Cashmere, polyester, and wool on this piece. Just an awesome full-length jacket right here. So the story behind this, I walked into the thrift store. I went to the fresh rolling rack. An employee was stocking off that. So I went up to the rack and I found a Canali blazer, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I was like, okay, here we go. One of my favorite brands, found that on the rack. So I said hello to the person who was working there. I said, hey, how are you today? She said, I'm doing good. I said, hey, if I'm in the way, just kick me. Just get me out of the way, right? And she said, oh, no, you're fine. She's like, hey, I don't know what you're looking for, what kind of stuff you're into, but there's this jacket over here that you might want to take a look at. She takes me over to this round rack with the jackets on it. She says, this thing's cashmere. I thought you might want it. I don't know who this woman is. I just happened to be nice to her. She was nice to me and shows me this one right here. I said, listen, I don't know anything about that brand, but she's like, it's from Britain or Scotland. And she's like, usually that means that they're really high quality, right? I was like, that's usually what it means. You are correct. So I paid $10 for this. I quickly looked up comps in the store and I saw some comps around $100 plus. I didn't really get into whether they were cashmere or what size or whatever, but I picked this up. Let me know if you know anything about it. This is new for me. Thank you, Leslie. Do you know anything about it? Where is it made? It's got like British vibes. The inside you can see is like all like that plaid pattern. I'll even show you the inside. It says Load and Fry. Check out the inside. It's got that quilted look, and then the bottom's got all the plaid. We'll check what it is, where it's made. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you got a chance to go out and thrift. I had fun today. Virgin wool, polyester, and cashmere. The lining is acetate and viscose. It does not say where it's made. It does not say where it's made at first glance, but we'll look at this more. It's definitely got that thrift store smell. And y'all who do this a lot, you know, I think everyone that like doesn't go to thrift stores, they think everything smells like thrift stores. It's gross. Hey, Sister Steph, how are you? Say hello if you're jumping in, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok. Say hello. Introduce yourself if you haven't yet, or just don't. That's fine too. I appreciate it. I'm still going to show you fire items, whether you like it or not. I hope you like it. But yeah, most of you know that go to thrift stores, that most stuff doesn't really smell like thrift stores. It's very rare where I get something like this where I'm like, ooh, this thing is ripe. I put it in my cart right away and I was like, man, this whole thrift store smells like thrift store. And then then I pulled this out and I gave it a whiff and I was like, no, it's just this jacket. It's not the whole store. Austria, giving kilt vibes. Trish, hello, welcome. You about to get some snow? I'm not sure, Simon. I haven't watched the weather. Hey, Angela, how are you? Thanks for dropping down below in the chat, saying hello. Purple Moon Lady's back for more. I'm going to go put this outside. It'll take me like 2 seconds. I'll be right back. It's cold out there. Some good cold air to get that thing breathing. What's up, Crystal? Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Do you also resell too? If so, let us know. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked the weather forecast. We've gotten zero snow so far here in Asheville this year. I know 2 hours west of us on the other side of the Smoky Mountains, Knoxville got 9 inches of snow earlier this week, which is a lot for them. Usually we get the snow and they get rain or nothing. Do you wash items that smell at all or just hang them? It depends. This one I might have to dry clean it because it's cashmere and wool. But I have a feeling if on a nice, bright, sunny day, like the UV and the fresh air does a heck of a job getting smells out of things. But that thing's ripe, so we'll see. I don't know, Travis. I haven't had to dry. I've never dry cleaned a single thing in 5.5 years of selling used clothing online, and that might be the first one. That might be. We'll see how it goes. I wouldn't, if that was like a $40 piece, I wouldn't have messed with it if it had that kind of smell that I thought maybe I have to bring it to the dry cleaner. But I think it's $100 piece if I'm patient here. Snowing here again, 2+ tonight. Geez, Lynn in Kentucky. What's up, Lynn? Welcome aboard. Hello from Kansas City. Do you air out smelly items or treat them in some way? That one's airing out. That's usually takes care of it, but we'll see. That one's kind of ripe, so we'll see what happens with it. But usually air in like direct sunlight. The direct sunlight does a heck of a thing. This one I actually bought for me. If it doesn't fit, I might resell it. It's an REI hiking shirt. It's vented. It's lightweight. I know it's cold right now, but it's got to be hiking season soon. So I'm going to cut off all the tags on these and I'm going to lay them out. This is part of my process. When I first get home from the thrift store, I pull everything out of the bags. I cut the tags off. I button them up and then I put them in a pile so that I lay them out nicely so that they don't get all wrinkly and stuff. If I just left them in the bags, they'd be all wrinkly, and I don't iron or any of that stuff. Let me know down below in the chat if you do any of that stuff, ironing or steaming. I don't do any of it. I don't own a steamer, and if we own an iron, it's probably in the garage in a box somewhere. I don't wear stuff that I need to iron. Even when I still had like a job where I had to commute and go in and look nice, I would get non-iron shirts and stuff like that. Dryer shirt sheets with a quick jumble works well for me on shirts. Just a little tip. Thank you, Travis. I appreciate that. I'm not sure that that's going to work on a cashmere wool jacket, but I do appreciate that. You did say that was for shirts, so thank you. This is live, Jake. What's up? No ironing here. That's right. Ain't nobody got time to iron. I steam linen if it gets wrinkled. Cool. Do you have a whatnot show tonight? I'm not going to do a show tonight. I just don't have the right mix of stuff to run a show. I'm not going to run a show just to put junk out there or waste your time. I'm only going to put stuff out there if I bring fire. I'll be live again on Whatnot next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and hopefully next Thursday too. We'll just see if I have enough inventory. So that's gonna be for me. I'm gonna put this in the me pile. And if you've been following this show for a while, you know I don't thrift much stuff for me. And when I do, I wear it. I usually list it, and I'll wear it while it's listed. And then when it sells, I wash it and throw it and send it out. So we'll see. The REI doesn't have a ton of resale value on that short sleeve, but so I might just keep it if it fits. Steamers are awesome. Nice, Cindy. I ain't got time for that. I thrifted a steamer recently, and we'll use it on wrinkled items. Nice. I love all y'all that are steaming your stuff and ironing. I just won't do it. I'll never do it. It's not going to happen. It's just not part of my game. I'll throw it up on that wall over here, and I'll take pictures of it, and then I will fold it up, put it in a little bag, and put it out in the garage with everything else. Got a Patagonia base layer, nothing fancy here. Men's size, medium. Medium has a Patagonia on the back right there, really small, and Patagonia on the front. This is like a Capilene base layer. It doesn't say Capilene on this one, but same thing. 84% polyester, 16% spandex. This is what somebody would just use as a base layer for hiking. I prefer merino wool personally, but these polyester stretch ones are pretty desirable too. The sales for this stuff will pick up. You could also wear this as a base layer for skiing too in the wintertime. What's up, Biggie? I found a Purple Label made in England suit jacket. Yes. A lot of people don't realize that Purple Label isn't only made in Italy. It used to be made in England too, but Suka knows that. Hey, B. Georgie, how do you track cost of goods if you pull tags now? All shirts are $4.99. All blazers are $6.99. All suits are $9.99. And all jackets are $7.99. So it's pretty easy for me on that sort of thing. Do you draft in Vendu, then list to eBay? I no longer use Vendu, although I do recommend it as a cross-listing platform. I do think it's the best cross-listing platform. I use One Shop. to do all my cross listing now because I just list on eBay and Poshmark. I used to list on 6 platforms. So having a more robust platform like Vendu, and I really like Vendu. I have a link in my profile, by the way, for Vendu. You can get a free trial. You can check it out. I like Vendu, but I no longer use it. I haven't used it since last spring. I use One Shop. I also have that linked in my profile. I think you get $10 off with the One Shop one. And the reason I use that is because it's both my cross lister and it's my Poshbot built into one. $45 a month for 2 things. It's one app to log into. I don't have to do both. But I list on eBay first and then I cross list. I sit on the couch with my One Shop app at night while I'm like kind of watching TV with Kim watching TV, me sitting next to her. And if like yesterday, I listed 29 items. It probably took me 18 or 19 minutes to sit there and pound out all those cross listings over to Posh. That's how I do it. How do you do it? It's my son's size and school color. This right here. This right here, Ruth, you want it? Is that what we're talking about? I haven't totally looked it over yet, but put it in front of these bright lights here. That tells a lot of stories. Is this what we're talking about? Men's medium Patagonia base layer Capeline. You like the orange, Sister Steph? I thrifted a steam. Oh, I already read that one. Yes, how much? I don't know. We can, this will ship really cheap. You can do this. Oh, there's one pull. Let me see here. Let's investigate this thing. There's one little tiny pull right there on one of the sleeves. Can you see that, Ruth? I think you can. You have better success just using 2 platforms or having multiple 4 or 5 platforms. I would probably sell a little bit more, Travis, if I listed on the 6 platforms, but I started selling on Whatnot this year. I launched my own website, chris@peak.com, and I also sell on TikTok Shop. So to have eBay, Poshmark, TikTok Shop, chris@peak.com, and Whatnot is a lot of things to log into and a lot of things to keep track of. So I dropped my 4 lowest selling platforms, which were Mercari, Depop, Grailed, and Facebook Marketplace. I dropped those because those were my lowest selling. I would have been too spread out across too many different things. It would have been an inefficient system at some point. I mainly stick to Posh, Mercari, and eBay, but I use Grailed and Depop as well. Nice. Yeah, I used to do all those things too, plus Facebook Marketplace. I was on 6 for a few years. I draft and Vendu, then cross list from there, but not having 2 subscriptions is great. Nice. Yeah. Where can I get the hoodie in the background? Do you have them for sale? Fisher Flips, the Get a Real Job hoodie. I know people have told you this before. Get a real job. Stop selling used clothing online. Stop selling junk online and trash. Get a real job, brother. That sweatshirt is available on TikTok Shop. You click my name up above, about halfway down my profile, you'll see Shop, SHOP. Click on that. Go to TikTok Shop. All orders over $20. This is over $20 are free shipping on TikTok Shop. You might have a coupon in there too for like 10 or 20. Somebody had a coupon for 40% off the other day. So they got 40% off plus free shipping, which is crazy. You might have that too. If you're watching on any of the other platforms, there's a link down below for chris@peak.com. You can get yourself a Get a Real Job hoodie too. Those hoodies are awesome. It's a fleece cotton blend, super soft, super warm. It's cold outside. You need a new hoodie. Be proud of what you do. Be proud of your work. Ruth, are we here? Are we still talking about this? I'll put this aside. It just had that one little pull on it. And I would do it out the door. I'd do 20 shipped on this out the door if you want it. 20 shipped, including shipping. 20.00 if you want it. Somebody got filtered on TikTok. There we go. Somebody's saying bad words. Okay, cool. Done. I'll fold this up right now. I'll put it in a bag. Ruth, I think I have your shipping address from you've ordered on chris@peak.com. Is that right? So I should have it saved. Where's my little folding board? We'll fold you all nicely too. How about this? Don't worry, we got a bunch. We've barely got into this bag at all. You guys get me talking about all kinds of stuff. We're talking about cross listing and steamers and airing stuff out and putting stuff in the dryer. I like it. I'm for it. I'm here for it. And now we're selling stuff, which is, that's cool too. It's already hot in Phoenix. 74 is the official temp, but the thermometer has 86 outside. Let's go. Days are getting longer in Phoenix already. Do you have my PayPal or my Poshmark, Ruth? Or PayPal or Poshmark? PayPal or Venmo? Do you have either of those? If not, I will just send you a quick message. We got a Patagonia, just to recap, Patagonia men's medium polyester spandex blend, base layer, long sleeve. Oops, that's a big bag. This needs a small bag. Hey, pal. It's I'll send it to you right now on my other phone while we're here. It's already out in Phoenix. Thank you all. What's up, Biggie? Later, I got to go make some hot sauce, aka chili. Nice. Are you making hot sauce or chili? Now I'm confused. Those are two different things, brother. What school did you go to? Let's see. I've got to find you here, Ruth. I got to put in your name the right way. Ruth. Oh, where'd she go? Ruth's Tienda. Tienda. Be helpful if I spelled Ruth with a W. Underscore. There you are. How's everyone doing today? Did anyone get out at to the thrift store or an estate sale, or did you get out sourcing? How are sales? Things moving out the door? Chris, that peak opportunity. Coaching. If there's no way for you to send this friends and family instead of goods and services, that helps me out because it just doesn't take out that extra peak opportunity coaching. But you do what you got to do. All right, I just sent you the email associated with my PayPal. You're all good, Ruth. We'll get this shipped right out for you. It's not even 70 here in Tucson. Still chilly. It was like 40 something. I think our high today was 43, and I still just went out. I was like, I'm not wearing a hoodie. I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm not wearing nothing. This ain't real cold. Everyone else is wearing like winter hats and big like puffer down parkas, and I'm walking around in a t-shirt. I got some strange looks, but that's not new to me. Ruth, handwritten thank you card going out the door for you with a Patagonia. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'll put the shipping label on this afterwards. I think I got you. And you can, just in case, Ruth, if you can reply to my message on TikTok and give me your shipping address with your full name, just in case, but I think I have it on my website already. Yesterday, I got to a thrift store and found a bunch of vintage camping lunch thermos type stuff. I love that, Jake. Nice finds. Anything like any home run items out of there that you've already comped that you think are going to go for good money? Found a few good things at the thrift today. Some Nike Panda Dunks and some Air Max 95s. Nice. I love those. Air Max 95 is a cool model. Nike Panda Dunks. Good one. Made it to the thrift last night and this afternoon. Sully's Paints. Sean is crushing it over there. I haven't had a lot of listing time lately, but I'm building poker tables for another side project. That's interesting. You have to tell us more about this side project. Just switched from Facebook. Got to say the video and sound quality is way better on TikTok. Interesting. Good to know, Angela. Thank you for sharing. I've been pretty much snowed, iced in for 6 days. Goodness gracious. 6 days? For real? Like actually snowed in, or you're just like, well, shoot, I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. And where are you located, Mountain Quail? I should know this. Why don't I know this answer? My thrift stores have been closed because they had an internet outage. Interesting. Thank you for the follow, Diane. Welcome aboard. Good to have you. 95s are a great find. Yeah, I like 95s. I like 90s better. I got some 90s right back here, actually. Some triple blacks. Somebody's going to win those on Whatnot on Tuesday. If they choose them, there's 14 shoes to choose from. They might choose those ones, or they could choose something else. No thrifting. Been listing my desk pile. Listing death pile. Nice job. I did that all this week, too. This is the first time I got out thrifting this week. We've listed over 100 items here. I'm trying to hold off until this weekend. Nice. Nope, I want my daughter's work so she could practice bartending on me. Ooh, nice. Hot sauce. We're having fajitas here. Nice. Ruth will explain it to me. Erica Bryant, thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Well, it started out as a pub poker league, but it might turn into manufacturing solid octagon tables because no one else sells them and they're better than the cheap folding ones. Interesting. You found yourself a little niche market there. I love it. Do you have any background like woodworking or anything, or is this just something like you're just learning as you go? I love it either way, Jake. That's sick. Which label printer do you use? I use the IDPRT. It's the SP410, the exact one. If you forget all those numbers and letters, is linked in my profile under the tools, the tools for reselling, or the tools you need for reselling. I have a whole folder of stuff. You can go to my Amazon reseller spreadsheet or Amazon reseller shopping list and see all the things that I use to resell. Even like these adjustable Husky tables that I have two of. right down to my laptop. I have everything, packing materials, you name it. Everything's linked. So if you want to know what I use, I have it linked right there. And obviously, if it's linked, it's something that I would recommend to somebody else too. So now thrifting done listing. Brightwood, Oregon, actually too slick out to go out. Really, really. Where's Brightwood in Oregon now? I've been to Portland and I've been to Bend, and whatever the road is that takes me in between those two places. I've also been to Cannon Beach, that's right, which is out to the west of Portland. I've been out there too. I use CAP links to order my supplies. Yeah, and when you order through those Amazon links, by the way, you get the same low price from Amazon, and it does give me a 2 to 4% kickback. Hey, every little bit helps. I appreciate it. Thank you, Trisha. Nope, I'm having a handy friend help me, but we're figuring out as we go. He's much better than I am on the construction end of the spectrum. Nice, man. Hey, maybe by the end of him helping you out with a few of those things, maybe you're a pro and you know just enough that you can just make that one table over and over, make you some money. I like the side hustle, brother. I got a little side hustle too. Reselling used to be my side hustle. Now it's my full-time thing. Now coffee is my side hustle. Thank you, Ruth, again for that order. We'll get that shipped out to you. All right, so these jeans, again, jeans are all $4.99 at my thrift store. That price tag just says the size on them. I don't know why they bother. Like, why waste their time putting the size on that thing when the size is on the jeans? But anyway, $4.99 for these pair of Carhartts. Nothing fancy here. Carhartt, there it is. Relaxed fit, size 40 by 32. Nice fade on them. 20 to 25 bucks on these on eBay and Poshmark. I'll put these into a jeans pile. Picked up a few pairs of jeans today for $4.99. If I had to pay 10 bucks for these, like a lot of you have to pay at your thrift stores, I probably wouldn't pick them up. But remember, everything I show you, with a few exceptions, is going to be $4.99. So that means I might pick up some things that you can't pick up at your local thrifts. How much do you pay for Carhartts and Levi's and normal jeans like that at your thrift stores? Again, this tag says 36 by 30. I don't know why they waste their time doing that. It seems like an inefficient, unnecessary part of the process, because there's a size tag right there that people can look at the thrift store. There's one on the inside too that's cut off on this one. But anyway, they can look on the back one, just like the person who works there who wrote that. Pair of Levi's. These are size Levi's 502s. I actually don't find 502s a lot. These look like a regular fit. What are the 502s? Are these regular taper? I don't know. I'll post having a handy friend help me. Our Goodwill is $5.99 to $6.99 for jeans. That kind of changes the math. I don't know that I would pay $7 for normal Levi's all the time. That starts to cut into the margin. I was thinking about grabbing some Levi's for $1. Levi's for $1 all day. I'll take that all day. My thrift stores, they don't do sales. They have good, low, kind of consistent prices, that flat rate stuff, but they don't do any sales. The Goodwills here. Goodwill of Northwest North Carolina, they don't believe in sales. They might do like one a year. They did this sale like at the end of the summer. They put all jeans on sale at this Goodwill. I don't know if it was all of them, but at this one, they had the jeans on sale. They had like 10 pairs of jeans, and they put them all on sale. I was like, that's awesome. You have 0.0001% of your store on sale. That is just awesome. They never have many men's jeans there. Another pair of Levi's here. These ones are a little bit better seller for me. We got a 517. It's a size 32, 34, which isn't the best size, but black jeans do sell a little bit better for me than blue jeans do. I think the 517, I think that's slim straight. Somebody in the chat can correct me. How is your thrift so cheap? Mine in Michigan, those jeans would be 10 to 12. I don't know how. It just is. They don't do any sales. There's no like tag of the week. There's none of that stuff. This is Jake over on Facebook. YouTube is way better for streaming videos for me on mobile, though. Gotcha. Cool. Wherever you're joining, Jake, it's cool. But thanks for letting me know that you're transitioning. I would have been really confused if you kept talking about octagon tables under your other screen name. I would have been really, really confused. You can watch this wherever you want. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. Whatever your pleasure is, you can watch it. You can switch back and forth like some people are today. What's the max you would pay for Newid tags? Jans, I'm not sure what we're talking about. I did get new tags, True Religion jeans and Rock Revival jeans last week. Sick, nice. Hi from High Point, North Carolina. My friend Wendy from down the street in High Point. I just got to jump on 40 and drive about 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it'll be right where you are. And I got to get off 40 for that little, what's that little highway that takes me off 40 right to High Point? Anyway, I know where you're at. I spent a lot of time in Winston-Salem and Clemens, North Carolina, where my in-laws are. So you're the one cleaning out Honey Hole Goodwill's out. No, I have not been to. I've never been to your Goodwill in High Point, North Carolina. I don't even know where it is. Viva is the vibe. Concord, North Carolina. Nice. Same thing. I can just jump on 40. I can get. Well, no. I got to jump on 80, 67 to 85, then 85 out to Concord, something like that. 74. Maybe that's it. 74. I got to get my directions down. I know how to get there. I just don't know the name of the road, but I can just drive it. What's your best selling style? What's your best selling style in Levi's? I don't know that there's one style that sells better for me. I can tell you I sell more 505s than any other Levi's. It's because I find more 505s. It's just, I think it's just a really common model that's been around forever and it's been really popular. So highly distributed, if you will. So I sell more 505 than anything. I don't know if that means it sells better. Big sizes and non-blue colors tend to sell the best for me, but I don't find that one of the numbers sells better than some people swear the 501s. They always scream that whenever somebody's going to say it right now. They're going to say 501s. They're the best sellers because those are the button flies. And yeah, they're a good seller, just like all the rest of them. I don't find that 501s move any faster for me. But that's just my experience.
That's just been my experience. Big E is texting me whatever he's making. Thank you, Big E, for texting me your dinner. That's really kind of you.
Excuse me. All right, another pair of Carhartts. Nothing fancy here. Men's size 36 by 30. Again, a $20 to $25 seller on eBay. I paid $4.99. Nice condition on these. I'm from Grifton, North Carolina. Have you heard of it? Never heard of it. Where's Grifton at? Give me a hint. I don't know. 501. See, there's Thomas with it. I knew somebody would do it. What's the max you would pay for new with tags Levi's? I guess it depends on the model and the size, but typically I'm selling those in the low 30s. So if I try to price them higher than 35, they typically sit a little while. They're best priced at like 29 to 35, but a bigger size could do better. So it's up to you. Just do the math, what makes sense. They sell for me for like 29 to 35, brand new with tags on eBay and Poshmark. So yeah, and it would just depend on kind of the model and all that stuff, but make a good decision on it. For me, it's kind of case by case. If I can find 4 of the same exact model, brand new with tags, then I might pay a little bit more for them because I can do one listing, set one round of photos, one round of measurements, one listing, set that quantity to 4 and let it ride. In that case, I'm willing to take a little bit less profit per unit, because I'm thinking about dollars per hour more so than I'm thinking about anything else. Between Greenville, North Carolina, and Kinston. Awesome. I've never been to either of those towns. My wife went to ECU many moons ago. But I've never set foot in Greenville, North Carolina. I've never set foot in Kingston. It's Kingston or is it Kinston? I've never set foot out there. I've never been to like that. Been to out to Wilmington in that area, but I've never been out to like that neck of the woods. I'd like to. I've heard that Greenville's changed a good bit. That's what Kim tells me. She says changed a whole lot. We should go visit, but it's really, really far away. We're in Asheville, so that's like a pretty committed drive. Unless there's some reason, tell me why I should go visit. These are actually for me too. This never happens where I bought 2 things for myself at a thrift store. I bet you I haven't bought 2 things for myself at a thrift store on the same day. Probably haven't done that and probably never done that, to be honest with you. But I pick these up all the time. This is exactly what I'm wearing right now. They're the Wrangler Outdoor pants. I freaking love these things. Got the little mountains right there, the mountains on the back. This is the am I wearing those? No, I thrifted these not too long. Yeah, I'm wearing some right now. I'm wearing the same pants. They're almost the same color. These ones are just a little bit lighter. Anyway, these are for me. ECU alumni here as well. Nice. Kim's got it. Maybe I got to hit you up. We need to get Kim a new ECU hoodie. We need to get her a new one. But she's very picky about it. So we got to find the right one. We got to get her a new one. So that's why we got to get down to Greenville, get her a new ECU hoodie between Greenville. Oh yeah, there's greatest Grammy ever. Heather over on Facebook is an ECU alum. Are you still out in that neck of the woods? So you probably know exactly where Grifton, North Carolina is. I spent a lot of time in Winston-Salem, 3.5-hour drive. Nice. Best bang for your buck hiking pants. I agree with that. Especially when you can pick them up at the thrift store for $5. I also like the Prana Zions. I've had a lot of pairs of Prana Zion pants and shorts. They're just spendy. I wear through them. You're in Greenville. Nice. Right on. You know exactly where Griffin. See, we got friends here. Found a pair of 501s for the first time last week, but I haven't listed it yet. Nice, Travis. I literally found, I think, 6 501s, all size 38 by 34. And they were all, I think 4 of them were 38 by, let me think this thing. There 4 of them were 38 by 30, 38 by 34. But I found 6 total 501s at the same thrift store, and 4 of them were that same size. 3 of them were vintage, which was pretty cool too. Those go for a little bit more money. Retweet. How do you find clothes for $5? At my thrift store. That's what they price them for. So I go there, I pull into the parking lot, I park, I go inside, I find stuff, I bring it up to the register, they tell me how much I owe them, I give them the money. You asked how. That's how. Check this piece out, yo. Check this piece out. Lacoste with it's a windbreaker with a hood, crocodile, kangaroo pocket, and look at this OG Izod Lacoste logo on that. Boom. Boom. Nice, huh? Can you find that price at Goodwill and Can you find that price at Goodwill and Ross? Can you find that price at Goodwill and Ross? Not really sure what you're asking. Find them for $5 by being thrifty. There you go. We ran out of our store brand coffee and we are drinking yours. Awesome. I'm glad you got. You know what I would have done with that store brand coffee? Thank you for ordering some Chris at Pete coffee. I appreciate it. Cool piece right here. What's the size on this? There was a couple like light spots on this. I'm going to soak this in Oxy. Just a fun piece. Men's size large on this. 100% nylon little windbreaker. So I'm going to set this aside. That's going to get an Oxy bath. All right. Here's a fun piece. Just got back. If you're just joining, I just got back from the thrift store. I went to one thrift. I spent $139. I bought 23 items. And I'm just cutting off the tags, buttoning things up, laying them out, getting them ready for their photo shoot. And I'm showing them to you. Trying to be real with this. I used to do this more often. I haven't done it in a little while, so I figured it would be fun. Ralph Lauren on this. That's a women's size large. It's a polyester, like quilted puffer vest, a lightweight one with a nice plaid pattern. Feel like an easy $30 to $35 on this piece right here. If I wanted to price it down and get it to move quick, $25 out the door. Paid $5 for this one. Paid $5. The vests were all $4.99 today. I got a couple of vests too. I think I can get her a hoodie for sure. Trade you for that coffee. Sounds like a deal. But she's really picky. We'd have to see it first, and it would not be the easiest. She'd be like that buyer that you have on eBay that would ask a lot of questions. That would be Kim about the thing. I like your snark. Yeah, thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. Welcome aboard. Say hello if you're just jumping in, or say whatever you want. You could say hi. You could say hola. You could say a lot of different things. Just don't get filtered on TikTok. They'll filter you. Don't say anything mean. All right, into some shirts now. Bread and butter, Brooks Brothers. People are going to yell at me in the chat. Those things don't sell. It's a race to the bottom. Nobody buys that crap anymore. Of course, those people are wrong. So before you type it, I mean, you could type it. But before you type it, just take a deep breath and say, you know what? Maybe I'm not right. I'm going to tell you. Somebody's got to type it. I understand. I'm just being honest with you. Brooks. We're just going to look up how many Brooks Brothers pieces I have sold. I've already sold 7 6 Brooks Brothers shirts and 1 Brooks Brothers blazer in 2024. So already 6 shirts. It's 8 days in. So once every 3 days, I sell a Brooks Brothers shirt is the average right now. So they typically sell for between $19 and $21 plus shipping for me. This is a men's size extra large, 100% cotton non-iron. Check out the pattern. That's why I picked it up. Nice pattern, not your typical pattern. It's not that old school stuff. It's kind of a fresh, modern look on a men's size large. That's why I picked it up. I find some good stuff too. I found a ton of new tags items at my thrift. I go on half price day. Nice, Nicole. Most clothing, at most the clothing runs $7.50. Nice, that's cool. Good for you. Yeah, we don't have any sales at our Goodwills around here. They just run $4.99. $4.99 pretty much everything, flat rate shirts and jeans. Some jackets are $7.99, blazers are $7.99, and suits are $9.99. That's the pricing structure. No sales, nothing. That's it. So there's no like special day to go or special time to go. You just go when you can. So I guess that's one benefit is I don't have to feel the crunch like I have to go at a certain time. I'll list this for $21 plus shipping on eBay and Posh because of this pattern. I don't think that this will sit around very long. If this is still here in a month, I'd probably be surprised, to be honest with you. This was kind of fun. Speaking of Brooks Brothers, I found my first James World shirt yesterday. Comps are all over the place for those. Yeah, it's something like that. Price it high, accept offers, see what happens. A lot of times people sell stuff like that and they don't know what they have. This sweater was also $4.99. This was on the end of the rack. I was just minding my own business, going by with the buggy. And I see this. I just saw the Brooks Brothers logo on there, full zip. It was unzipped in there, but it's brand new with tags right there. Supima cotton. Not a crazy find, but typically something like this used would sell for $25 to $30. Well, probably more like $30 because this is like a jacket with pockets in the front and it's full zip. So probably a $30 piece used. And if it was wool, it'd go for more. Men's size medium, but brand new with tags. I don't know, probably $40. Probably $40. What platform do you sell clothing on? eBay and Poshmark and Whatnot. If you're new to Whatnot, you can check it out. I have a link in my profile. Or for you, I think the link is down below on YouTube. You can go to that Whatnot link and you can sign up and you get a free $15 just for signing up to Whatnot. And you can come check out a live auction. I do one every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. What do you get for shirts? We have a Salvation Armies that is half price colors of the week. Nice. Yeah, we used to have that when I was in Florida. Wednesday was half off day for clothing. It was always Wednesday. So I'd be at the Salvation, one of the Salvation Armies right at 9:00 when they would open. Actually, they opened at 10 after the pandemic. When they reopened, it was all 10:00. So 10:00 I'd be there. And then I'd just go to like 3 or 4 more other Salvation Armies. And that was my Wednesday. So Wednesday I was out all day going to Salvation Armies, buying clothes to flip online. I found my first James World. Going to harass Jason now. Bye. See ya. My Goodwills have color tag of the day off, which is almost never what I want, and they have been steadily increasing the prices over 4 years. Yeah, I mean, everything's more expensive. Gas is more expensive. Groceries are way more expensive. Yeah, stuff goes up. I mean, the value of the dollar, it's inflation. The value of the dollar is less than what it used to be, so you have to charge more for stuff. Their labor is more expensive. Their utilities go up, all that stuff. Same here for Salvation Army half off Wednesdays. Nice. How do you prevent double selling on item on 2 platforms? I use One Shop HR Candy, so they have automatic sales detection. So when something sells on eBay within a couple of minutes, it detects the sale and it will take it down off Poshmark and vice versa. So that would be one way. There's a few other platforms that have it. One Shop, I have a link in my profile for that. You get $10 off if you join with that. I think you get a free trial too, whatever. Also have a link for Vendu too. Vendu is a little bit more comprehensive of a cross-listing platform, but they also have auto sales detection over on Vendu too. So if you had one of those 2 things, you wouldn't have to worry about it. So that Brooks Brothers, I paid $5. I'm thinking $40 on it. Used, it would be like $30. So I'm thinking new, it'd probably be like $40. This is something I pick up all the time. People harass me about these things too. Those things don't sell. Wrangler, last I checked, 2022, Wrangler was my
In terms of total units sold, Wrangler was number 4 brand for me. Wrangler was number 4. I don't know. I haven't checked. I haven't like kind of run the numbers for 2023 yet. Just it'd be interesting to do. But check out this Wrangler. I like picking up the pearl snaps and I like picking up the bigger sizes. This is a men's large, which is, not really a big size, but plain white pearl snap. We'll see if this white comes out good. I always got to hold my breath until I put it in front of these photo lights. Looks like there might be a spot too. Go figure. It does look like a spot on there too. So that's going to go into the good news is I can I'll OxyClean that in white and we'll see what happens. I'll make a big OxyClean bath. My good blows off color tag. I understand. Okay, I'm back. It looks crispy. Yeah, it looks like there was a couple marks on it. I'll throw it in the OxyClean, see what happens. Otherwise, it's a size large, so otherwise it becomes my Western Pro Snap. Okay, Ralph Lauren men's size large. Another brand, one of the best-selling brands in the world. If you look at sold comps for Ralph, people tell me Ralph Lauren doesn't sell anymore. It's because you're either pick one of the 3 things. You're picking up the wrong Ralph Lauren. Your photos aren't good. They're not better than your competition, or you're not priced right. It's one of those 3 things. Because if you look right now, if you do a search for Ralph Lauren, size large, button-down shirt, I bet you there's 100 sales today on eBay. Somebody's selling them, but you're not. I hope you are. I want you to be successful. I want you to grow and make money, and pay off your debts and all that stuff. How much do you ask for Polo Ralph Lauren long sleeve shirt? I have a ton, and we'll be looking to sell. The answer, Kevin, is always going to be depends, because it's not just, you told me what size, or you told me what the brand is. So it's going to matter on like, what's the size, what's the material, what's the pattern, what is the season right now. But typically I'm going to list something like this for $21. I might list this one actually. Usually I do $21 plus shipping and I accept offers. I'll probably list this one for $22. Look at the pattern. I think it's just an awesome pattern. It's not a pattern that I see a lot with Ralph Lauren. So I think I'm going to bump that up. Timing of my question low. Yeah, there you go. Sold 3 Ralph Lauren pieces today for $60 shipping. Don't skip kids. Sold 3 Ralph Lauren kids pieces today for $60+ plus shipping. Nice, man. That's awesome. I'm still going to skip the kids though. I just don't mess with the kids stuff, but I appreciate your kids hustle. Everybody can do their business their way. I'm still going to skip it. White is always difficult to pick up for sure. Like you said, with the lights, you see so much more. I throw them in front of these freaking photo lights and it changes the whole world. It tells a really deep, dark story. Sometimes it's deep and dark. Sometimes it's good. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I enjoy. This is what I do when I come home from the thrift store. It's my normal routine. I take everything out of the bags. I cut off the tags. I button everything up and I lay it out nicely over here so it doesn't wrinkle and it's ready for its photo shoot. This stuff won't even make it to a death pile. I'll list all this stuff tomorrow. What do we pick up? 23 items today. I'll probably get it all listed tomorrow. For me, I'm really fast with shirts. That's my kind of the thing that I can get up the fastest. It's the thing that I list the most, so I just got a good system. I agree. Ralph Lauren sells well. If your photos are right, your price is right, and you're picking up the right Ralph Lauren, you'll do great. You'll do great. Some of it too, I think some people just have unrealistic expectations when they first start reselling. They think it's like you list something on eBay, right? You list it, you're like, done. All right, cool, it's up. All right. Well, I'm just going to stand here and wait for that item to sell. Should be any time now. I got my packing materials ready to go. It's all folded up, and it's got to happen. And the reality is this, I do have some fast sales, and I talk about the fast sales. I also talk about the slow sales. But on average, clothing for me, overall, if I look at the whole year on average, 70 days per item. Right about 70 days per item. So just over 2 months. Because remember, there's a lot of seasonality to clothing too. Peter Millar, men's size extra large. This is 100% cotton, so not a super desirable Peter Millar. It is a size XL, which is a good size, and it is a modern Peter Millar tag, which helps it out too. There we go right there, so you can see it down here. So modern tag Peter Millar, size XL,
100% cotton, which isn't super desirable, but people still buy them. It's still a good selling shirt. I'll list this thing for probably $22 plus shipping. It's got a nice pattern to it too, so nice modern look to it. About $22 plus shipping. The fast sales are so nice. I also like the surprise big sales though. That's right. I had my fastest sale of the year so far. Was that yesterday or was that 2 days ago? I can't even remember. Something sold in 1 hour. What was it? I have to look at it now. Something sold in 1 hour. I don't even remember what it was. Oh yeah, that Robert Graham men's size small shirt. I listed it brand new with tags. It sold for $99 in an hour on eBay. I didn't even have time. I hadn't even cross-listed it yet. What's the best way to ship a coffee mug price and also keeping it from breaking? Just the smallest cardboard cube you can find that fits. I don't do a lot of mugs anymore. First, Jake, but when I do mugs, I've typically done them in this box right here. Unless it's a really big mug, I use this. It's called box number 4. It's a 7x7x6 mug box. I typically do a couple things. I stuff the inside of the mug with packing paper. Then on the handle is the most fragile part about the mug. So what I do is I stuff it like in the handle, like in that gap between the handle and the mug. I put a little packing paper in there too. I wrap it up with a small bubble wrap, and then I do a layer of the medium-sized bubble wrap. Pop it into one of these boxes and out the door. It measures. It's a 7x7x6 box. This would go priority. That's typically what I do. You can, now that Ground Advantage is cheaper, you might get yourself a box size. It's like an 8x6x6, either that or a 10x8x6, and then you can ship it Ground Advantage, and you might be able to save some money that way. I probably haven't shipped a mug since they came out with Ground Advantage this summer, but I imagine you probably save on mugs a lot that way. Let me know if that's helpful or if you have follow-up questions, Jake. So I probably underprice it. Who wants to arm wrestle? Josh, you don't want any of this mess. Look at, I'm wearing my Thrifter Sifter t-shirt today. Do you really want to mess with that? I found a pair of jeans sell while I was folding them and putting them in my bag, probably 3 minutes. That's awesome. 3 minutes is crazy. I love that. How many items? That's like all time type of stuff. What was the item? I'm curious. How many items have you posted on those? How many items you have posted on those platforms? I'll give you real time. A few things sold while I was up today. 783. Y'all, I haven't been talking about this a lot, but what Kim and I have been talking a lot about behind the scenes is, so on October 15th, we had 394 total listings. So it was a low point for us in our store. And we started listing like crazy. We're on the path to get back to 1,000 listings. And we hit a big checkpoint yesterday. I forgot to mention this morning. We hit 788 listings. We actually got to 789. And what that means is we doubled our listed inventory from October 15th through January 17th. So essentially 3 months and 2 days, we doubled our listed inventory, which is pretty good. We took we've been away 3 different times since then too, but we've just been working hard and pushing and running Whatnot shows on top of that stuff too. Every week we run a Tuesday show. We ran a Thursday show too last week. So the march to 1,000 continues. Our next checkpoint is to get to 800. And then of course the next checkpoint from there is 900 and then 1,000. You get the idea. It gets harder right now though, because now the sales are going out the door. So it's like if I've listed 100 something, the two of us have listed 100 something this week, but now we have more sales this week than last week, right? So to get up, to push up to those new check marks or those new checkpoints every week becomes a little bit harder and harder, but I'm up for that challenge and I like the sales. That's the whole reason we do it. Attitude gold jeans. They are Y2K style with a lot of detail. Nice. Like big baggy ones like that. That's awesome. How much did they sell for? I want the whole thing. Whoa, let's keep it clean, Josh. Let's keep it clean. We don't want to get bananaed. I mean, I know you want to get bananaed, but you know what I mean. So I probably underpriced it. I sold the Roosevelt's button down in 15 minutes. I couldn't find the print anywhere, so I priced it at 50. I love that. Nice quick stuff. Thanks for sharing your quick sales. Thanks for selling. How do you know what brands sell best? At first, there's 2 things that you can do. See Sean Griffin. One is you can listen to somebody like myself that seems like they kind of know what they're talking about. and listen to them and have them show you brands like this one, Peter Millar, that you can keep your eye out for. Then once you start going to thrift stores, take your cell phone with you. You probably do anyway. You're probably texting your buds and all that stuff. So take your cell phone with you, have your the eBay mobile app downloaded onto your cell phone. And when you see something like this Peter Millar cotton button-down check shirt, you search eBay for Peter Millar cotton check button-down shirt. And then you can filter it for size XL. You can filter it for sold items, and then filter it for used items too. So you can look at used, sold items, and you can see what that item is selling for. And that would be how you figure out what brands sell best. Go to the thrift store, be curious, then come home and watch people who seem like they know what they're talking about a little bit. I was using 6x6x6 cubes ground advantage, but thanks. Yeah, that might be a little tough to get. Did you find when you're using a 6x6x6 box, did you find that you weren't getting enough packing material in there? That would be my only concern, was that I would have a mug that would break because it was a lot of packing material. How many sales per day? This week it's been Sunday I sold 13, Monday I sold 9, Tuesday I sold 7, and Wednesday I sold 7. Today I don't know how many I've sold. 2 on eBay, and I'm not sure how many on Poshmark. I can get you that. Hey. What did I sell on Poshmark today? 2. And 1 on Poshmark. So 3 items so far today. It's weird. I've been getting all my sales lately. I've been in the evening time, like dinner time is when the rush is coming for me. The dinner bell, Jason and I used to call it. Amy, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you. Do you also resell? And if so, what kind of stuff do you resell? I'd love to hear about it. Insane. Congrats. That's motivational. Nice. That's why I share it. I got to be better at sharing sort of what's going on in our journey and stuff. Sometimes I just get so focused on sharing brands and sales and all that stuff with you, but I got to share the background. But yeah, we're on the march to 1,000 listings. It seemed fine, but it was a smaller mug. Gotcha. Yeah. Smaller mugs are probably fine in that. Even bigger mugs sometimes don't really work well in this 7x7x6, and I'll get like a 10x8x6 box or something like that. Anyway, Peter Millar, is it all buttoned up? We cut the tag off. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, mostly women's and athletic wear. Nice, Amy. Where are you stationed? Where do you hail from? Love hearing all of it. Nice. Thank you for all the Chili's rescue and resell. Really appreciate that. That's kind of you. I don't know why I folded that up so much. I'm just gonna lay it over here. This stuff's all gonna get listed tomorrow. All right, we got more stuff. If you're just jumping in and just got back from the thrift store, I'm going through the bags. This is my normal routine. I just cut off the tags. Everything I paid $4.99 for, unless it's a suit or a jacket. Cut off the tags, button up the shirts, and lay them out. Get them ready for their photo shoot tomorrow. Sean, was that helpful? I feel like on Instagram, I feel like the way, just like the nature of like Instagram lives is people like pop in for like 4 seconds and then kind of pop out. Sometimes they drop messages, pop in and pop out. And I don't think it's a different viewer. I just think it's a different, I think the way that people engage with Instagram is different than the way they engage with like YouTube and Facebook in some ways. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I tried the dogs, but it says unavailable. Oh no. I know the dogs are no longer available. I can't find them on TikTok or the corn, so I can't do corn dogs. Indianapolis, nice. Who's that? That bro Surfs Up Finds. I know it doesn't make any sense. His name's Surfs Up Finds, and he's in Middle America. I think he's from Indiana. I don't know if he's specifically from Indianapolis, but I also don't have my geography of Indiana really well dialed. I don't know much about that state. I drove through it once on our way to Colorado. A few months ago, I bought a set. Either way, welcome aboard, Amy. Good to have you. I like to go live stream and give good, honest glimpses into what's going on with my business, and that's what we're doing right now. Here, we got an Orbis. Orbis women's size medium on this. I like this piece because it's like a purpose, like a piece of gear. It's a texture. So it's vented in the back. Hey, look at the vent. Look at the weave on that vent. I don't even know if you can see that. Isn't that cool? It's not just like a regular weave. Isn't that neat? Anyway, nice little pattern on this. This shirt's probably, I don't know, it's probably a $20 shirt is what it comes down to, but women's size medium, nice colorway on that. But I bought this because this is like a piece of gear, a shirt you'd wear out fishing or hiking or something like that.
Does eBay do a good job estimating shipping? I really like using Poshmark. So first of all, yes, Poshmark for shipping is just so much easier than eBay. It's not even a fair comparison. I agree with you on that. Does eBay do a good job estimating shipping? Yes. So Jeffrey, if you put in, I think I'm saying that right, Jeffrey, if you put in your measurements and dimensions accurately, then eBay is got to be 100% right with what they charge the buyer 100% of the time. That'll always be right, as long as you use calculated shipping on eBay. Now, I don't use calculated shipping on eBay. I put my own like fixed prices in, but as I got started, I used calculated shipping until I really got my prices dialed. And I would suggest, if you're new to eBay, which it sounds like you are, I would encourage you to use eBay's calculated shipping and just make sure that you're putting in good estimates for your weights and your dimensions, and it'll always be right. Kate and Pie, thank you for sharing the live. That's kind of you. What a nice compliment. It's like a dolly in there, different for sure. Yeah, that's the word, dolly. Doily, a doily. It's like a doily. Have you ever seen? There's a really good Jeff Goldblum on Portlandia. He's got a doily store. It's so funny. It's a good skit. You should probably, if you like Portlandia, you might want to Google Portlandia, the doily. Is it the doily store? I think it's a skit. Anyway, if you're into that sort of thing, you're probably not. And if you're not, that's cool too. Yes, Surf's Up Finds in the Indianapolis area. I think he's from Carmel, Indiana. Okay, cool. I don't know where that is. It sounds flat. I just started. Thank you for the content. You're welcome, CC. That's awesome. Welcome aboard. I haven't checked that out. I'll do so. T-shirts, 12 ounces. And if you want to learn more about this business, Surf's Up Find is a great dude to follow. His name's Brad. He's a good dude. He's pretty darn transparent about his business, and he knows his stuff too. I mean, he really knows his stuff. So he's a good person to follow for sure. Surf's Up Finds. He's on all platforms as Surf's Up Finds. Makes no sense. The bros in Indianapolis or Indiana or Carmel, I don't think there's any surf there. I always give him a hard time. I just joke. He's a friend of mine. I give him a hard time, but it's funny. I was Chris at Peak when I lived in Tampa, so I can't judge. I was in Tampa for 2 years. I was Chris at Peak when I was in Denver. I'm still Chris at Peak here in Asheville, but for the 2 years in Denver, I was also Chris at Peak, which made no sense. It made no sense. So I kid. I kid, but I get it. Missed that show. Hilarious. Portland is awesome. My buddy Brian stayed with us for about a week in December. And we spent some good old-fashioned time. He's a grad school buddy of mine. Good old-fashioned time watching Portlandia skits on the couch. Yep. Funny stuff. Big fan of that show. What's that dude's name? What's the main actor's name? I think that dude. He's one of those. Some people are just, they don't have any jokes. Like, he doesn't have jokes. He probably doesn't know one joke. But he's just funny. Like, everything he does is funny. He'd be cutting tags off of shirts, and he'd be funny. He's just one of those guys. What's his name? The main guy, Fred Armisen. He's funny. Everything he does, right? Like, he'd just walk down the street and I'd laugh at that guy. Isn't he on one of those late night shows? He's a musician, by the way, too. He plays guitar, right? On one of those late night shows. He's like part of like the late night show band. Is it Jimmy Fallon? Is that the one he's on? Is he still on there? I don't even know. What are we talking about? What are we even talking about? Fred, that dude is just fun. We got a old school Robert Graham here. Paid $5 for this. It's probably a $25 piece. That old school Robert Graham tag, R&G. It's a men's size extra large. And yep, Robert Graham famous for their flip cuffs. It's got a fun flip cup there too. Probably, I don't know, $20 to $25 shirt. I don't think there's like a lot of cachet in like a vintage Robert Graham. People just like the big bold patterns and that sort of thing. I like your tattoo. Thank you, Amber. So true. Love him in anything. He's just funny. Everything he does is funny. They were rare and it's priced super crazy. I missed that. There's a side conversation that I'm missing, but that's okay. You can have your side conversations. Sorry if I missed something I was supposed to catch. Carmel's a verb of Indy. Gotcha. Gotcha. What's popping in Indianapolis? Like, what's the thing that somebody like me who's never been to Indianapolis, what would I have to go see? Where would I have to go eat? And I don't mean like give me like a tourist trap, like the first thing that comes to mind is like in Philadelphia, they tell you to go to Gino's?
Geno's for the really bad cheesesteaks. I don't want that kind of wait in line for bad cheesesteaks. I don't want that kind of stuff. But what should I do if I go to Indianapolis? Found a Norm Thompson shirt today at Goodwill and thought of Portlandia. Funny enough, Portland brand. So Norm Thompson is a Portland brand. Interesting. I didn't know that. Is that a bolo? Is that something I should be looking out for? St. Elmo's Steakhouse. You're trying to Tracy, I resell used clothing on the internet. You're trying to break the bank. No, I love me a good high-end steakhouse. I actually love that kind of thing. Unless I have to wear something nice. Do I have to wear like a blazer, or do I have to wear, is there a dress code? If there's a dress code, I might skip it. Although we do really like, what is it called? Ryan's? The steakhouse we like, Kim? She's not listening to me. I think it's called Ryan's in Tampa, really high-end. We like going there. I'll even put a blazer on for that place. It's so freaking good. Well, it's got amazing horseradish cocktail sauce. I know just the type of place you're talking about. I'll have to check that one out. St. Elmo's. I like the name too, like St. Elmo's Fire. I always ask for the non-touristy places, exactly. So I joined like an Asheville foodies group like about a month or so ago on Facebook. And now it like dominates my feed, probably because I read like a few of the posts in there. And I've learned that I'm like out of the loop with the Asheville culinary scene. We're also like 25 minutes out of downtown, so we don't get out as much as we used to. We used to live downtown, so we used to walk everywhere. But I've learned that I am way out of the freaking scene, so I got to get back into the scene. What's up, Chris Heller? I see you, brother. All right, here's a nice piece. This is one of the better finds of the day. I paid $6.99 for this one. This is real life. This is back from the thrift store. My thrift stores aren't like, it's not like Disneyland, like crazy, like I find all kinds of stuff. A good thrift day for me, this was a good thrift day. I found 23 items, but a pretty typical thrift day for me lately in Asheville has been finding maybe 8 to 16 items. I don't know why I picked a multiple of 8 to go with 16, but here's a FootJoy's Dry Joy. Now, typically I find these in pullovers. So this is a rain jacket. FootJoy is the brand. Dry Joys is like their rain jacket line. You can see it right there. Dry Joys, their waterproof stuff. There it is. It's vented in the back. No, it's not vented. It's just a flap. So FootJoy, look at the pattern. It's a houndstooth. Houndstooth, really cool piece. Typically these sell for me for about $30 or $35. This one is a full zip as opposed to the like the quarter zip or the half zip that I typically find. And it's a herringbone pattern, and it's a size 2XL. So I think there's I think it's probably more like the 35 to 40 range on this one, just because that pattern's pretty rad. I don't see that a lot. Is it still daylight there? No, I just got really bright lights, brother. Really bright lights. Been dark here for about 8 hours. Yeah. We do have a little bit more. The sun does stay up a little bit longer here than up in New Hampshire for sure, but no, it's dark now. It was just a little bit of twilight when I first got home because I went and hung that jacket up outside. Thank you for all your information. Just getting started selling things around my house on eBay. Great way to start. Great way to start, Carrie. Appreciate all your knowledge about brands and shipping. Awesome, Carrie. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions too. I'm happy to help. Crazy how long those Dry Joys keep their watering proofing for. Decades. That's interesting to know. I didn't know that. Kate and Pie, I just sell them. I don't wear them, so I didn't know that. Nice. Bartenders always good resources for recommendations. Exactly. Good idea, Kevin. South Texas resell with the bear. Thank you so much. Ask locals for recommendations. Thank you so much. Vintage styles do better than normal styles for them, it seems. Gotcha. For that brand, the Portland brand, hit or miss. Some cool vintage looking cotton button downs sell for $30 consistently. I'll have to look out for that. Norm Thompson. I probably won't see it a lot out here if it's in a local Portland brand, but I'll put that away in the bank. I think that's why they hold their value so well. Gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. I appreciate that. This one's a size 2X. Big sizes always, they tend to sell a little bit better. Put this one aside. That's one of the better pieces of the day. Not the best piece. We actually, the best piece might have been the first one I showed you, although I think I'm going to have to wait a while for that sale. I think probably the fastest sale with the biggest with the biggest margins still coming up after this. So here's a Ralph Lauren blazer. Doesn't really look like anything super special, and it's not, but this is a nice seller. So it's got that houndstooth pattern again. The reason I picked this Ralph Lauren blazer up for $6.99, it's got a couple things going for it. So first of all, it's a 42% silk, 48% wool. I do better on average with blends of silk and wool than I do with just 100% wool. Why? Because there's a lower supply of these available online, so I'll have less competition. It's also a size 52R, which is a very big size. It's like a 3XL, or I would say 52R, maybe a 4XL. It's probably 3XL. Very, very big blazer. So the combination of pretty good brand in that Ralph Lauren. I sell a lot of Ralph Lauren blazers. Pretty good brand. Definitely a good size in 52R. Definitely a good material in that silk wool combo. And then a nice pattern, a nice classic pattern instead of a plain pattern. So this is +1 all around. Good brand, good materials, good pattern, and really good size. So this should be a pretty quick seller. I typically list I would call it a mediocre or common blazers like this. I typically list them for $42. This one I'll price up a little bit higher. I'll price it up at $49 again because of the combination of size and material. It's a supply and demand world out there, right? It's not a better jacket than one that was a smaller size or 100% wool. It's not necessarily more MSRP, but it's supply and demand in the used market. This one I can probably get a few extra bucks for and probably sell it a little bit quicker. Any information for a new person on shipping? CRC, I have nothing to ship right now. I'll ship I've been shipping like late mornings. So it'd be good to come to one of those lives. I also have all those lives recorded on Facebook and YouTube. Links to everything is if you go to chris@peak.com or link in my profile. And you can watch the recordings of literally me live shipping and walking through decisions and stuff of why I'm using a certain box or a certain bag or why I'm shipping via USPS or UPS. So it would be tough for me to just say like, here's my advice for shipping because it always depends. So I won't just like make up some like blanket like advice for shipping. But if you want to come check out one of those live streams, they're all recorded. Facebook and YouTube did a quick one today. It's like 30 minutes. We shipped 7 items. I usually go slower and kind of really talk through a lot of stuff, but today would be a good one to watch, today's recording, because 30 minutes, 7 items. And I think there was a good variety of items today too. This has a little bit of a thrift store smell to it too. This one I'll put outside. I think just some fresh air and some UV rays from the sun will take care of this one lickety split. Again, I'm going to list that for $49 plus $10.95 shipping. And I'll cross list, that'll be on eBay and cross listed to Poshmark as well. And I'll accept offers. I don't know, I'll probably accept offers like $39 or higher. This was $7.99, this blazer. They're flat rate prices, so there won't be any price on that tag. Blazers are $7.99. Suits, 2 pieces are $9.99 at my thrift stores. Ralph Lauren, better than RLL, most times right. Ralph Lauren labels so tricky to keep up with. If we're just talking about blazers right now, which we are, I have not noticed any kind of difference in sell-through rate or sales price for LRL and RRL, if that makes sense. If you find a double RL, that's different than a Ralph. But yeah, those to me, that's not even a factor in my math. I don't even take that into consideration. In fact, I don't even know what that last one was. I literally don't pay any attention to it. For blazers and suits, I don't pay any attention to whether it's Ralph Lauren or Ralph Lauren because it has no noticeable impact for me on resale value or speed of sale. To me, I'm concerned with the size, I'm concerned with the pattern, and I'm concerned with the material. I'm not concerned about that unless it's true black or purple oil. Yep, that's a different conversation though. Wish our Goodwill did that. Yeah, but we don't do sales. That's the other part. I don't get anything cheaper than $5. So pros and cons. Also, my thrift stores, we don't have a high population here in Asheville, and we don't have a high concentration of wealth here either. So we don't have a lot of people just walking around Asheville wearing super high-end brands. So for me, I have to find a lot of the middle-of-the-road brands and load up on those, and that's what my business is here. Way different when I was in Denver, I could go after the high-end brands. And when I was in Tampa, I could go after the high-end brands. Again, high concentration of people and a high concentration of wealth in those two places. So I could find more of the premium stuff there. Here I have to go after the middle of the road stuff because people just don't wear like big fancy stuff all that much in Asheville because we just don't have a long history of a lot of wealth in Asheville. There was a lot of lean years in the Asheville area. There's some wealth moving in now, don't get me wrong, but it's still like mountain town, Western North Carolina. All right. But we did find a Canali, and this would be an example of a high-end brand that I don't find too often in the Asheville area because people just don't walk around wearing Canali. There's not like Canali stores and boutiques and stuff. There might be now, though, actually, as things have changed. But Canali, made in Italy. One of my favorite brands for formal wear right here is Canali. Great piece right here. The last Canali that I sold, let's just look it up. I'll give you real numbers instead of trying to make something up off the top of my head. Did I sell one yet this year? I did. The last Canali I sold for $69 plus $10 shipping, and it was listed for 7 days. Canali. So we're talking about not $69, and I sat on it for a year and a half. $69, and it sold in a week. Canali. So this one and that one was a 44R. Yeah, that one's a 44R. We'll see what this one is right here. You're welcome, CRC. The Lauren, black and purple labels are higher end. Thank you, Kevin. 52R is on the label here. That's a Euro size on the Canali. So this is a size 42R. So 52R Euro is equivalent to 42R US. So that's a smaller size. This is a 42R is like a men's size large, where the really big sizes do better. But on a brand like this, like a hot high-end brand, a lot of people who are paying up for these kind of suits, some of the smaller sizes do okay in Canali. I would rather have bigger sizes in like Ralph Lauren. These high-end brands, I feel like there's a lot more, let's face it, there's a lot more fit people that are buying these and younger people that are buying these things too. So that's a great pattern on this, a great brand. And what's it made out of? Feels like a blend. Nope, I was wrong. 100% wool. And it's the Rayon Cupro Bemberg liner on this, made in Italy. If you don't know this brand, if you don't know anything about like thrifting like suits and blazers, at least remember Canali. I mean, it's a great brand. If you find Canali, I would pick it up in any size, any model, any material, any pattern. As long as it's in good condition, I would scoop up Canali. When blazers are in bad condition, they really get tough to sell because people are wearing these for like nice events like weddings or business meetings or interviews. So they really don't want flawed items, but you can sell flawed shirts, flawed jeans, stuff like that. But it's tough when to sell flawed blazers. So be careful with those at the thrift store. This might be one of the best finds, and it's got to surprise you. It's a Joseph A. Banks. Don't laugh, don't snicker. Joseph A. Banks. You'll be really surprised when you look up comps for corduroy Joseph A. Banks. I've always been a big proponent of corduroy blazers. They sell fast and they sell for good money, even some mediocre brands. Typically, if it's corduroy and it's at least a mediocre brand, like a middle of the road brand, even Chaps corduroy will sell in the $40 range for me plus shipping, especially if it's a big size. Joseph A. Banks, I found one of these for the first time in corduroy just a couple weeks ago, believe it or not. And I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blazers. And I'm always looking for corduroy, and I've never come across one of these until when I was in Florida, actually. I picked one up at Red, White, and Blue. And I figured it was probably like a $40 piece. But when I comped it, there was comps as high as $100 for used corduroy Joseph A. Banks blazers. I feel like the market is more solid around $60 or $70, but there was comps all the way up to $100 on these. So this is a really good pickup right here. I paid $7 or $6.99 for this one. And it is a size, I didn't even look at what the size is because it doesn't matter because this is such a good piece. I pick it up in any size. It's a 46R. I don't know why it says R46. It's backwards. They don't usually do that, but it's a wool silk blend. So I listed the other one. It was a wool silk blend too.
just a couple weeks ago. It's still listed. I think I listed it for like $79. I'll list this in the same ballpark right there. So 46R corduroy Joseph A. Banks, great pickup right there. On the low end, I'll probably accept an offer because I want to move blazers quick. Maybe I'd accept $50 on it or something, but that's pretty much the floor for that blazer. Like call it $49 floor. I'm going to list it for, I think, $79 plus shipping and see what happens. But that's a pretty good floor for a $7 pickup. This is a really interesting one. I actually don't know what this is going to sell for, but it's one of my favorite things to pick up, like corduroy blazers. Black Label RL is on my unicorn list. Yeah, Black Label is a pretty good seller. Purple Label is what should be really on the unicorn list. Those resell a lot better typically. Watch, it might be Italian size. The Joseph A. Banks is not an Italian size. It's a 46R Americana, but thank you, brother. The Lauren Black and Purple Labels are higher. Joseph Abboud seems like it's a decent suit brand too. I don't pick those up too, but let me know how you do with them if they sell okay for you. So we got a Brooks Brothers 346. 346 is the factory brand. I still pick them up. I don't notice a big difference in sell-through rate or pricing between the Brooks Brothers 346 suits and the Brooks Brothers regular suits. As long as it passes the other tests, I still pick up 346 factory and still ask the same amount of money. So let's walk through this first. So first off, gold buttons. Those always catch my eye. That's another thing. You can just go to the thrift store, go through the suit section. If you don't want to look through everything, just look for the navy ones with the gold buttons. That's a big plus one. Now, it doesn't mean you should pick up every single one that's like a navy with gold buttons. There was one right behind this. It was Irving Park was the brand, and I left it behind, absolutely. But it's one of those big plus ones that will help items sell is the gold buttons on a navy blazer. Even the black blazers with the gold buttons do pretty well too, although I don't find them as often. Navy blue, gold buttons. All right. On the inside, we got a size of 48R. So that's a great size. Anything 46L and bigger tends to sell just a little bit bigger for me. So when I say big sizes in blazers and suits, I'm talking about 46L and bigger. This is a 48R. And this is, I think, 100% wool, but I'll probably be wrong because I said that. 100% wool, and it's got the 100% Bemberg Cupro liner on it too. That's the nice, like, expensive liner on that. So this is a nice blazer right here. But here's the kicker, and I didn't even notice this till it was in my cart. It's got kind of a worn out, like, old tag on it. It's got that little sewn piece. That's what I noticed first, was that sewn 346 Brooks Brothers right there. I was like, hey, this might be new without tags. Then I found that tag, and then I saw here where it hasn't even, that's still sewn right there on the back. So this is, I would sell this as I'd actually sell this new with tags because it does in fact still have a tag on it. So I'll sell this new as tags, take close-ups of the tags so somebody can see that there's some wear to it. I'll take close-ups of this little sewn tag that's on there too. And I'll take close-up of this thing to show that it hasn't been worn because that hasn't even been clipped right there. So nice little find here. I would have bought it if it's used. Typically, I just sold one of these actually. I'll give you a price, like a real live price for it. I'll just type in gold and that should bring me to a gold buttons. Let's see here. Brooks Brothers 44R Fitzgerald Explorer Fit wool, navy and gold buttons. Sold for $45 and it sold on Poshmark, so the buyer paid shipping. So yeah, and that was just a couple. That one sold. It was sold on the same day that the other one sold. So 111. It was listed for just under a week, 6 days on that one. $45. This one's brand new with tags. I'll probably price it up. I don't know, maybe $99 and see what happens with it. And if I'll put offers on, and if I get an offer that's above $50, I'll take it and move it and turn $7 into $50. I was looking through blazers on eBay and seemed like reasonable sale price on the boot. Nice. I like that you're doing that. How's the sell-through rate though too? Is there like a billion of them listed and not many sold? And you said decent suit brand. Are you looking just at suits also, or are you looking at just blazers? Because there can be a pretty big substantial difference in sell-through rate and sale price on just blazers versus suits. Suits
tend to have much higher sell-through rate, and will even mediocre brands and suits can command good money, where just the blazer by itself might be still pretty cheap. But if you can find the two-piece together, that's a big deal. That has a big impact on the math. Thank you, Sassy Bells, so much. Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Do you also resell, Sassy Bells? And let us know what you resell. I'm pretty sure it was just blazers. Nice. Appreciate you saying that. And when you say it's selling for a decent price for just the blazers, like what kind of ballpark are you talking here? Appreciate you doing some homework over there. I like that. I like that. That's the whole bag. We are out. That was 23 items. I don't know if anybody was counting. 23 items. 2 of them I'm going to keep for myself. Maybe. I got to try on that REI shirt. I'm going to try it on now. It's going to be like a little fashion show. Chris at Peak Fashion is wearing a pair of Wrangler outdoor pants every day of the week with a pair of Brooks sneakers, a t-shirt, and usually some sort of plaid or a hoodie. Fashion show. Isn't this strange? Yes, you do. Nice. Just found you. Thank you, Sassy Bells. Welcome aboard. What kinds of stuff do you resell? Are you clothing, or what's your game? I'm like 95% clothing. Just got back from the thrift store. We just went through the 23 items that I picked up. 2 of them I'm actually going to keep. Oh man, one of these buttons is messed up. The bottom, well, it's a snap up, which I really like the snap ups. The bottom one's broken, but I don't think it matters. Does it fit? It's a little short. Fits in the shoulders. I like the colorway. What's a bummer about that bottom button? But well, at least I bought it for myself. Pearl snapping right in front of us. It's not pearl, brother. It's like it's like a plastic snap or something. It's not pearl. It's not Western. Clothing, some hard goods. Nice. Keep the green, yellow is sharp. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. We'll see. It's just got this missing bottom button, so it'll just kind of be like open flappy, I guess, down there. But we'll see. Be a good like little hike to casual shirt, a classic little Asheville piece. I can rock this on a hike and then go get an IPA after, and it will look just as good in both places, right? Easy access. Take it easy over there, will you? Take it easy. All right, thanks everyone for hanging out. Just wanted to rip through those 23 items. Was there a favorite item that you had that you maybe you didn't see all 23, but of what I showed you, was there a favorite item or maybe favorite item, or I'll give you an option, or something that you learned about that you maybe wrote down for your that's the most important thing, something you wrote down like for your BOLO list, or keep an eye out, or I don't know, do y'all keep that? Do you keep like a little notepad, or maybe a note on your phone, like one of those note things on your phone where you can like write down new BOLOs to look for? Like what's your thing? I used to write down I used to do 2 things when I was first getting started. I'd watch YouTube videos. I used to watch Ready Set Resell Ben, and he's still a creator, a reseller creator, and he's on TikTok, by the way, too. He's also on YouTube. I don't know if he's on the other platforms, but I would write down brands on a little piece of paper, and I would put that piece of paper, like I'd tuck it in my wallet because then I wouldn't forget it. So then I was at the thrift store, I'd like reference that. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to take out my little note sheet as I'm going into the shirt section. I'd be like, all right, what did I write down for shirts this week that I got to keep my eye out for, and I would do that. The other thing I would do is I would take screenshots of people's YouTube videos. So when they would like hold up the tag of the item, and it was usually Ben from Ready Set Resell. It was also a Hustle at Home mom. She's really, really good with clothing resale. I'd watch her YouTubes, and she, when they show the tag, I would take a screenshot of that. And usually I'm like rewinding their YouTube video to get the tag shot just right, so it's not blurry. And then I would save them all to a folder. It was just like a BOLO folder, so that I could reference that in the thrift store. I can just like, all right, I just got to the thrift store. I'm going to rip through like my little BOLO brand folder of new brands that I hadn't found before. And that way it refreshes my mind, and then like walk into the thrift store and find my stuff. So how do you do it? REI shirts are nice. They are. Yeah. If that's what that is. Yes, this is an REI shirt. It's a more modern REI shirt too.
and I liked the colors, and it was my size. So, and I'm always thinking ahead to the next season. So I wanted to have a nice like hike to casual shirt. He's great. Yeah. Ready, set, resell. He doesn't just do clothing. He does a lot of different things too, in video games and some hard goods. He really knows his stuff. He's been doing it a long time. He's been paying all his bills by being a reseller for a long time. And there's something to be said for that. If you know that somebody can survive for years and years and years without a job as a reseller, then you're like, okay, that's probably somebody I should listen to, because that person's done what it takes to survive it, which means they've probably learned a lot of stuff. Somebody said, Canali suit, appreciate you. Always look for that Canali. That's a great one. That's a good one to save to your BOLO list, however you do it. I just posted a Vineyard Vines party flannel design, and I thought Chris would love this, but it's a small. Bummer. I hope it sells really fast for you, brother. That's awesome. Easy access. What did I miss here? Thank you for the follow, Daniel Rayfield. Do you also resell, and what sort of stuff do you resell, if so? REI does well for me. Nice. Yeah. I've had mixed results with REI. I feel like I got to be selective in that brand and pick up like the really modern pieces and the stuff that's just it just looks like a good, fresh, like kind of newer model REI, and those do pretty good for me. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you jumping in here with some positive energy and some ideas and holding down the chat for us tonight. Thanks, Nick99Jam, for the follow. I appreciate it. I am going to go live again tomorrow on all 4 platforms. And you can watch any of the 4 platforms, whatever makes most sense for you. IG, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to ship out all my orders, including Ruth's order. We'll get these all shipped out. Right now I have 3 sales on the day, and I just saw I had a message on eBay. Y'all get nervous when you get messages on eBay. Like, what are you messaging? Hopefully it's not. I'm always like concerned it's going to be a sale or a return. Hi there, I'm interested in your Piranha skirt, but am unsure if the size small with the waist of 30 inches will be too large. My other skirts have a 28-inch waist, but they're not Piranha. If it doesn't work, do I understand correctly that you will pay return shipping? I appreciate your time, Lisa. Ugh. That sounds like exactly like the sale that I want, right? Like somebody who's already talking about the return policy. I mean, I get it. She's a consumer. She's spending her hard-earned money on something. She wants to make sure if it fits, and if it doesn't, that she can return it. But that's just one of those things as a seller. You're like, oh, come on, for real. It's been super slow sale. I'm sorry, Mr. Krabs. That means next week's going to be really good for you. Just focus on your hustle. Sometimes it's easy to look at the scoreboard, and the scoreboard does help, especially on good weeks. I'm having a good week of sales, right? So looking at the scoreboard for me is motivating, but I still want to shift my focus down back to my feet. So I've had a good week of sales. I'm still focused back down and focused on my feet. And what I mean is my hustle. Like, how many items am I getting listed? Did I get out and source good, fresh inventory? That's what did I share enough information? And this is a metric that's really important to me now. Did I share enough helpful information with people who are trying to start or grow their reselling businesses too? And that's a big, important part of my hustle. So again, I try not to rest on my laurels. Even when the scoreboard looks good, I try not to focus on it too much, because it doesn't matter if I don't keep my listing hustle. I've listed 100 something items this week, but if I don't do that, I don't carry that through in the next week, then the scoreboard when I look up next week ain't going to be good. It's a what have you done for me lately type of world, right? So I'd encourage you, Mr. Krabs, when the scoreboard don't look good, or even when it does look good, just look back down at your feet and focus on that hustle and really pay attention to that. So my question to you, Mr. Krabs, is forget the scoreboard. What's the hustle look like this week? How have you done, right? What's your score down there? How are you doing with the listing? How are you doing with getting good fresh inventory from thrift stores and estate sales and garage sales and retail stores, clearance sections? How are you doing getting the new fresh inventory into your office so you can list it, or into your garage, or whatever it may be? That's what I want to hear about from you, Mr. Krabs. Not the sales report, not the scoreboard. I want to hear the hustle report. Put that down below in the chat. And yes, I am calling you out in front of your friends in a good way. I think Piranha inches are the same as regular inches. Yeah, I don't know what this girl wants. She usually wears 28-inch skirts. The Piranha is a 30-inch skirt waist. It's probably not going to fit, lady. It's probably not going to fit. I don't know what to say. Right on, Marnie. And that goes for everybody too. I just shouted out Mr. Krabs, but Mr. Krabs brought up this conversation. But What's the hustle look like this week? How have you done? What's the hustle scoreboard? I don't want the score up there. I want the score of the feet. What's the hustle? How many steps you put in? So maybe that's what we should use as a reference. I don't want to know the scoreboard. I want to know what the your Garmin or your Fitbit. I want to know what the Fitbit says in terms of like what are the steps? What's the hustle? What are those stats? How many calories? Like metaphorically speaking. It is nice to hear about your sales. I do like to hear about that stuff, and you are welcome to say when you have a bad sales week. This is the nest. You can say that stuff too, but you better follow up and you better tell me about those hustle points. You better tell me about the miles or the steps or whatever, right? I needed the hustle chat. You're welcome, Marnie. Whether sales are good or sales are bad, look back down at the feet. And I know a lot of you are doing this part-time with a full-time job, and I appreciate and respect that. It's 7:25 p.m. Eastern time, right? And I know this is like dinner time, and some of you want to just go hang out with the dog, hang out with the kids, put the kids to bed, eat a good dinner, sit on the couch, watch yourself some TV. But if sales have been bad in January, and they're always bad for me in January, if sales have been bad, this is that time of year, even though the scoreboard isn't doing well, this is the time of year to put in that extra work, right? And maybe you're like, all right, I can go back to the computer after dinner and I can spend 30 minutes and I can get a few items listed. And those few items, right, we'll just do that with some consistency. Maybe you do it tonight. Maybe you can't tomorrow night. You got plans. It's Friday. But if you can come back Monday, and, hey, after dinner, I'll just go do 30 minutes, and get a few items listed, And for me, as I got started, back when we lived in Denver, 1-bedroom apartment, running the business out of that, 700 square feet, the two of us. And yeah, just the hustle for me was Saturday mornings. Saturday mornings, I went to the thrift store. I went to a giant thrift store called Mile High Thrift. I'd spend 2 or 3 hours there and I would get a ton of stuff. And then during the week, I would do 2 things. I would wake up early before my first meetings for work in the morning, and I'd try to get a few things listed. And then at night, I would try to take some photos of some things after I was done work. Maybe after we ate dinner, I'd go sneak in, take a few photos, get a few listings pushed out. And that's how I built up the business. And that's the whole reason why what I have now today exists, is only because I gave up Saturday mornings, and I definitely spent a lot of evenings with those 30 minutes or an hour, or sometimes 3 hours, just building the business to a place where finally I could take it full time. Saw Trey Brooks Brothers shirt, short sleeves, left them behind because the color was not great. 3 shirts. Probably a strong pass is an important part of this game too. So you probably made a good move by passing on 3 short sleeve Brooks Brothers shirts. Interesting thing, oftentimes Brooks Brothers shirts, when I find them short sleeve, I'll look at the hem on the edge of the sleeve. Sorry, Instagram, you're over here. So I look over here, but even though the camera's here, but the chat's over here, I'll try to look over here. If you look, the hem, you'll notice that it was actually hemmed, like somebody cut off a long sleeve into a short sleeve. I find that like fairly often with Brooks Brothers. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody else ever encounters that, but maybe the next time you find a Brooks Brothers short sleeve Amapola 26, maybe check and see if it actually had been hemmed from a long sleeve. I feel like I keep bumping into that. I don't know, it's kind of a strange thing. Did I miss the haul? Yes, we just wrapped it up, 23 pieces. I'll show you one item. I'll show you one item because I like you. How about that? Is that cool? Where did I? 13. I forget which chat I was just talking to. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It could be a small sample size weird thing that I find, like the Brooks Brothers have been hemmed into short sleeves. I need to work on lighting and organization. Lighting and organization. Oh my gosh, you just made. Did somebody pay you to say that? Lighting and organization is so important, right, to the hustle. If your photos aren't better than your competition is going to sell the same shirts that you have listed. They're going to sell them faster than you and maybe for some more money. So if you can get a couple of shadow or softbox lights like here, you can see that's what's lighting us up right now. 2 box lights there that have that diffuser right on the front that's got to diffuse that light so you get a nice even light without shadows across your items is freaking huge. 13,000 steps today. Dude, let's go. Yes. All right. I'll show you one item blended Oasis. What do you want to see? Do you want to look at how nice I am? I'm going to give you an option. Do you want to see a blazer? Do you want to see pants, or do you want to see a shirt? You get one, and I'm going to show you one item. I went to 2 Mile High Thrifts a few weeks ago. It was a bit of a price shock for what I was used to. Tim, are you in Denver, bro? Are you in Denver? This guy is so nice. You get the wrong guy, Jason Hayes. Get that nice attitude out of here, Jason Hayes. Jason Hayes is like the nicest guy, nicest reseller you'll ever meet, by the way. That's Jay Hayes. If you're not following Jason Hayes on TikTok, go ahead and tap his name and give him a follow. You should be following him. You probably are. He knows his stuff. Wow. Oh my God. Shirt. Okay. See? All right. Shirt. So you went to, are you in Denver, Tim? Did you answer that question? Did I already ask that question? And by the way, AM Apola, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Amapola. I have sold Brooks Brothers shirts that were hemmed into short sleeves, and I've sold them online. I just disclosed that it's been hemmed to a short sleeve. People usually don't care. I usually say something like it's a professional hem or the hem is really well done. Here in Omaha, I was in Denver doing some work, so I had to check out the Mile High Thrifts. So the thing with the Mile High Thrift is kind of like if you've watched K-Way down at Red, White, and Blue. It's a for-profit thrift store. And they have a lot of stuff that's priced really wacky high, but it's all about the price, like the color of the week. So I remember Jason might remember this more than I do. He was the one who showed me that store. You'd go in and you'd look up on the wall and it would tell you like what were the tags of that week. So one color tag would be full price. One would be 25% off, two more would be 50% off, and one would be 75% off. So what's that one? That's 5 tags. So every 5 weeks, I guess they'd rotate through those 5 tags. So that was the game, was trying to get, you wanted to get most of your stuff at 50% off. And then you'd hope to get a couple of like really high priced items that got down to 75. But again, it takes 5 weeks for the thing to get all the way to 75. So sometimes it's tough to wait all the way to 75 because those thrift stores are really, really, really busy. They do a ton of traffic. So it has to be a really high priced item for it to hit that 75% tag, or it has to be a real piece of junk for it to hit that 75 price tag. So the price was almost $7. I thought if I sell them, the price was almost $7 up. Yeah. So I wouldn't pay $7 for Brooks Brothers short sleeve shirts for my model. I think that's a strong pass, Amapola, for sure. Strong passes are really important. Even on an item that you're like, ooh, I know this could sell. It's that discipline over the numbers, I think, is really smart there. I applaud it. Yeah, the tag color thing makes sense. So that's the game there, Tim, is all about the tag color. Yeah, the base pricing was a shock. Shirt's like 13. Here, my base shirt is like 7. Yeah. But when you think about it, though, 4 out of the 5 tags are on sale every week. So you have like more than half the inventory is probably on sale in any given week. So that's the game. And then the full price stuff, the $13 pieces, right? That's the stuff that was just stocked over the last few days. And you know that. So say it's the white tag that's full price. That's the fresh stuff, right? And you can score some really good fresh stuff. That's where you get like the $100 home runs is off the brand new fresh tag, the white tag that's $13, right? That's why that was a little bit too much money. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a strong pass at $7 in the Brooks Brothers short sleeve. Space pricing. So if I was going to be around Denver more, I would have passed on some bolos, but had to pick up. I feel you. I miss Mile High Thrift too. And Jason, I probably told you about this. Red, White, and Blue is like Mile High Thrift in the terms of like, there's so much good inventory and there's so much inventory and it's so busy and they're getting rid of like inventory is turning over so fast that there's always fresh stuff coming in and it's crazy. Let's meet up in Denver. I would like that, brother. All right. Blended Oasis, are you still here? You want to see a shirt? I promised you a shirt. Let's find you a good one. I don't really have a home run shirt. Actually, you're getting 2 shirts. I thrifted this REI shirt today, and I'm wearing it right now. I tried it on. It fits. I'm cheating a little bit. This isn't a shirt, but it's in the shirt pile, so I'm counting it. Lacoste nylon windbreaker. It's got a couple spots that I think, from my eyeballs, I think will come out. But it's a vintage piece. It's a vintage Izod Lacoste. I'm going to soak this in Oxy. Look at the tag. Super fun piece. I love finding like cool vintage stuff like this. Lacoste, Izod Lacoste with the crocodile on it. Super lightweight. It's got those vintage vibes. With the kangaroo pocket. It's got a crocodile up top and a kangaroo pocket. Chris, why can't I send you a worsty? They got rid of the worsty, bro. They got rid of the worsty. Ooh, I like that. Thank you. Nice Izod. Yeah, it's fun. Don't go crazy. Don't go picking up all the Izod that you see when you get out of this live and say, that guy Chris at Peak with the beard, he was telling me to get all Izod. Do not get all Izod. That's a vintage Izod Lacoste piece right there. That's a different story. 13,000. All right, y'all. That's it for me. Appreciate it. I'll see you again tomorrow. I'm going to, if you're interested in packing and know how the other side, this is the front side. This is all the stuff I picked up. Now, if you want to see, does this stuff actually sell? Tomorrow, I'll ship out the orders. I already have 4 items to ship out so far. Hopefully, we get the dinner bell, Jason Hayes. I need the dinner bell tonight. I need to get a good dinner push, get some good sales out the door. So I found a preppy golf Izod plaid vest. Nice, Cindy. Chris, of these, which are you selling? Howard, Ultra, Lisa. Chris, of these, which are you selling? Howard, Ultra, or On Cloud? I'm not sure if I understand the question. Lisa, Hoka. I'm lost, Lisa. I'm sorry. Does eBay ding you for ending a listing? Buy it now. Had a couple listed twice. Nope. You can. I delist and relist 15 to 20 every single day. I haven't done that yet today, so I'll stay live for 1 more minute because this is how long it takes me to do this. Thanks for that. Thanks for that reminder. I delist and sell similar 15 to 20 items every single day. And I'm going to do it right now on this live because I forgot to do it. And you can see exactly how long this takes me. And when you delist and sell similar, it creates a new URL and a new item number. So eBay thinks it's a new listing and it will get a boost in, it'll show up higher in search results for a little while because it'll be a new listing. So I rotate through all my items so I don't have anything that's older than like 30 days on eBay. So Poshmark, my bot does that automatically for me. So yeah, I'll do that in a second here. Can you do it in bulk? Yep, you can do it from your seller hub. You go to the listings tab, and then you can just check off a whole bunch of them and do whatever you want. Hoka Ultra On Cloud. Those are great shoe brands. Hoka Ultra or On Cloud sneakers. Yeah, those are great. Those are great shoe brands, Lisa. Hoka Ultra and On Clouds. I love them. I flip them all. I don't find them like I used to. In Denver, I used to find Hokas and On Clouds a ton. I didn't find Ultras all that often. Ultras, I don't think their distribution is all that high, so I don't find them as well. I think it's higher now, but it's a younger brand, I feel like. That's what I need. Yeah, I flip all those brands. Of course, certain models are worth more than others. Condition matters. But yeah, Hoka, Ultra, and On Cloud are all great brands. Good stuff. Quick question. I have a buyer say they didn't receive their item and want a refund, but it says it was delivered. What should I do? Kristen, that's an awesome question. It's a super, I imagine you're probably like a little bit frazzled. Is that the right word? Or maybe like concerned about this whole situation. You actually probably have nothing to be concerned about. You're good. So let's get that out of the way now. You're good. You're going to be fine. You're going to get your money and everything's fine. But here's what I would suggest that you do. I would respond to your customer and I would say like, oh, hey, like, sorry that happened. It looks like it's showing marked as delivered on my end. I would give them the tracking number and I would copy and paste whatever it says. So sometimes it says like left with person or left in mailbox or left at in front door. I would literally put that in the message and say, that's what USPS is saying what happened with the item. So I'd say, thank you. So Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, whatever, you probably shouldn't call them that, but I would say, here's a couple of suggestions I have for you. Number one, leave a note in your mailbox with this tracking number and what date it was delivered, and put your name and your phone number on there and just ask your postal person to come talk to you or give you a phone call because that item hasn't shown up yet and it's being marked as shipped. Number two, I would encourage you to call your local post office and same with that same information, right? Like have the tracking number handy and see if they have it. And if that doesn't work, you might go down to your local post office and just ask somebody at the counter. Again, bring your tracking information with you so that they can maybe find that package. I would also say it's very likely that package will be delivered over the next couple of days. It's not uncommon when an item gets marked as
as delivered, but it doesn't show up for another day or two because it was accidentally scanned as delivered and it shouldn't have been, and it's still in like the carrier's truck or something. So just tell them like, patience might help you out here a couple of days and it will probably turn up. Most of the time when an item is marked as delivered and it doesn't actually show up, it does actually show up like within another 24 or 48 hours in my experience. So yeah, I would just give them some helpful advice on how they might track down their own package, and then say if that doesn't work, you can file on eBay, you can file a item not received case, or you can open an item not received case. And when they do that, eBay is going to send you, Kristen, they're going to send you a notification that an item not received case has been opened. And it's going to ask you to enter the tracking information. Even though eBay already has the tracking information, it's going to ask you to re-enter that information. So you put in USPS and you put in that big long code or that big long number. You'll drop that in there and that'll confirm it. And they're going to close the case in your favor almost immediately. And you're going to keep your money and you'll be good, because that's eBay's policy. If the item is marked as delivered to the item that to the address that person entered in when they made the purchase, then you are protected. You have seller protection in that scenario. So you are good, like I said at the very beginning, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go and give good customer service to that customer and give them some helpful ways that they can go make sure that they track down their item, which they paid you good money for, whether it's a $2 item or a $172 item, right? Give them good, helpful advice so they can go track down the item. Yep. There's always a first time. And what I would do, as soon as you type out that little message, right, that you're going to give that person those 3 things that they can do to check to get the package and track it down, and that big dose of patience, like it's probably going to show up in the next 24 or 48 hours. Once you type out that whole message, save it, put it in a notepad somewhere, right? So that, because it will happen again, Kristen. I mean, it 100% will happen again, unfortunately. And that'll allow you to just not have to type all that crap out every time, right? You can just copy and paste that stuff and hit send and go, put Mary at the top instead of Sam or whatever the person's name is, and give your good customer service. Do you do it back to back? Some people say wait the next day to relist. Do you do it back to back? Some people say wait a day to. Anybody who says with any kind of certainty, Valerie, that they know how the eBay algorithm works is either lying or their dad is Mr. eBay. And I don't think there's a such thing as a person who's Mr. eBay, right? So they're lying. That's the only option. Like, nobody knows how it works. Everybody experiments with ways that they think works for them. It's a lot of hocus pocus. It's a lot of voodoo witch magic, if you ask me. I'm sharing you my version of voodoo witch magic. Every day I delist 15 or 20 items and I sell them similar so that those items show up as new items in eBay with new item numbers and new URLs, so they get a little bit of a boost in the search. And I do that every single day, and I've done that every single day for years. But there's going to be people who swear on their grandmother's necklace that whatever way that they do it by skipping a day is going to work. Valerie, it's true. It's voodoo witch magic. These people have a black cauldron in front of them that are coming up with this stuff. I just have my own version of voodoo witch magic, but I also know that it works. The ability, the effectiveness of it is in question, right? It's just, I have faith that it works, and it's fine. It's not perfect, and it just is. But you do need to get stuff relisted, like to sell somewhere. I think whatever your strategy is for doing it, do it. Whatever your black cauldron or witch magic that you prescribe to, do it, and do it consistently, because you don't want to have stuff that hasn't been delisted and sold somewhere in like 6 or 7 months. Those items will show up really low in a lot of searches. So get out of here while I can. Have a good night. I'll drop that. A unit means delivered at your post. I'll drop that your unit means delivered to your post office. Post office cheats and scans the night before to meet your requirements. Do you do it back to back? That's what I wanted to know. That's great. Can you do it in bulk? Hoka hoka. Cool. I'm going to do that. Good score on the REI shirt. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. Okay. Do not refund that person, Kristen, under any circumstance. I'll say that too, just in case. For those of you in the back who didn't hear. So I'm going to do this deal. I'm going to show you exactly how long. I'm going to do 20 items today. I'm going to show you exactly how long this takes me to do. And I do this every day. Yes, that's every single day. So 1, 2, I'm just checking these items off in the Seller Hub. 3, 5, I can count 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. So now I'm going to go to end those 15 items all at once. So actions, end listings. Yes, end those listings, confirm, LOL. And then I'm going to go to my ended listings, and I'm just going to check those top 15 items, which are my most recent D list. 1, 2, 3. This is not like live TV, awesome stuff. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, on eBay. 12, 13, 14, and 15. Did I miss one? I did miss one. 15. Okay. So 15, I checked all those. This is in my seller hub on eBay. I'm going to click the sell similar button. Boom, it brings me into the sell similar screen. I'm going to click select all and submit all 15. I submitted all 15. That was less than 60 seconds, and 15 listings are now live. All 15 of those listings have new URLs and new item numbers. So they're going to show up as new listings when somebody makes a search. So I do that every day. That's my version of voodoo witch magic. Anybody who tells you with certainty that their version of voodoo witch magic is good, they probably got some Kool-Aid for you and stuff too. Just do you. As long as you're doing that with some sort of consistency, it's going to help your business. That much I can say for sure. What's the best way to do it? Who knows? Hello, Jared. How are you? Are you listing a certain amount every day? No, because I also sell on Whatnot, and I also have a coffee business. So I don't list every single day. This week I've listed every single day. It's just the way that it's worked out. But no, I don't have an everyday listing. My delisting and selling similar is doing the same thing for the algorithm, that somebody who takes 20 of their items, and instead of listing all 20 of them today, they do 5 today and 5 the next day and 5 the next day and 5 the next day. That's these items that are showing up as new URLs and new item numbers. That's doing the same thing as that. I don't do any of the drafting and spreading them out. I listed 29 yesterday and all 29 went up. I listed 26 the day before and all 26 went straight up. Because if I don't put them up, those items don't have a chance to sell. Nobody can buy them. So I've had a handful of sales this week that sold in less than 24 hours. If I waited 4 days to list some of those items, then I missed out on that buyers that bought that item, that would have bought my item. They bought it from you instead. So they're not just like waiting around for Chris at Peak to list his REI shirt. They're going to buy somebody else's REI shirt. They're not going to wait 4 days for me to get my drafts up. That's my feeling on the whole thing. I know this will open up a can of worms. People do their businesses different ways. Some people swear by drafts. Some people, I talked to a dude, and if you're in here, Chad, I talked to a dude who has 200 drafts saved up. 200 drafts. I was like, dude, if you drop those 200 drafts, I was like, I sell 15% of my new listings within 7 days of me listing them. 15%. If you dropped 200 drafts, you're going to have 30 more sales than you're going to have in the next 7 days. You'll have an extra 30 sales in the next 7 days if you drop those 200 drafts instead of freaking hoarding them for the end of time. So sorry, Chad, if you're in here or if you're watching this on the replay. And I already told you how I feel about it. I told you that like direct to you. But some people swear by the drafts thing, and that's fine. I'm not going to tell you they're wrong. But Sherpa lines, ? Have you ever heard of a Zikak Denim? Nope, I don't know that one, Jared. Is it worth good money? I have 40 drafts and been listing 10 a day. Nice. I think you should drop them 40 drafts today and sell those in the next 7. That's the way that's what I would say. If it's sitting in your draft list, nobody can buy it. It might as well just be sitting out. It might as well be sitting in your closet unlisted if it's sitting in a draft. That's the way I see it. But there's different ways of doing this. Everybody's got their own version of voodoo witch magic. Nobody really knows what works best. But I'll tell you what, when it all comes down, things come back down to basic business principles. If you don't put it out on the showroom floor, nobody can buy it. So you can talk algorithm until you're blue in the face to me, and I'm still going to come back down to, until you have proof that works, I'm going to come back down to basic business principles. If it ain't out on the showroom floor, nobody can buy it. So to me, when there's no other clear answer, there's no other like definitive like science, math that's behind it, then I just go back down to the basic business principles. If it ain't listed, If it ain't on the showroom floor, ain't nobody gotta give you money for it. Don't put obstacles in front of the cash register. That's one of the oldest pieces of advice I got in business. Don't put obstacles in front of the cash register. If somebody wants to buy something, let them buy something. To consign, do we have to have a certain amount of clothing? Minimum 8, Kristen, per shipment. And I have that minimum for consignment for 2 reasons. The biggest reason is if you send me 1 item, it might cost you $8 to ship that like jacket to me. It might cost you $8. But if you send me 8 items, it might cost you $10 to ship the 8 items. So your cost per unit on the shipping is better. I run this consignment as a service for y'all, as a way for you to move items really quickly for very little work and to get a nice quick cash return. I don't want you sending me small boxes of items that you're not like. Yeah. The other reason I do it is because it's a live auction. So sometimes things sell for more than what their eBay market value is. And you're like, wow, that was cool. And sometimes they sell for a good bit less. And a lot of that is just because it's the randomness of a live auction. The right buyer for that item, it could have been up on the screen and they could have been going to the bathroom, or they could have been letting the dog out, and that item came up and ran and they were ready to bid $50 on it, but they weren't there and it sold for 20. So the small sample size of having 1, 2, or 3 items in a box, somebody could have been turned around for 1 or 2 of those and you could have had those low auctions go. But if you have 15, 20, 25 items in a box, right, the law of averages means some of them are going to go for more than they should have, and some of them are going to go less, and it's all going to balance out. But it can't really balance out too much if you have like 1 or 3, right? And if you want to learn more about consignment, you can go to whatnot.chris@peak.com or consignment.chris@peak.com, or just go to chris@peak.com and click a couple of buttons and you'll find it. 70-30 splits. I give you 70%, Kristen. I keep 30, and that's after Whatnot does their fees. Whatnot takes 10.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. So 70-30 net is the split. You get 70, I get 30. This is a service that I provide to people. Yeah, that's the reason why I have that limit of 8. And I'm probably actually raise that limit here pretty soon, because, again, I think that's the best thing for the customers to have the bigger box, because you're going to save money on the shipping per unit. I second that motion. Nice chemo. In sales, you are your own enemy. Do what works. Yep, I work full-time and still need to finalize small details on those drafts. Cool. What I would encourage you to do, JC, instead of doing big batches of 40, and take whatever I say with a grain of salt. I'm just a weird dude with a beard that's just wearing a shirt that I took home from the thrift store. It has a broken snap on it, but I'm still wearing it anyway. So take this for whatever it's worth. But instead of like building up 40 drafts, I would say, why didn't you just finish the first 5 and push those out and get some items out that people can buy? I do like working in batches, don't get me wrong, but get some stuff out on the showroom floor, because nobody can buy it unless it's out in the showroom floor. That would be what I lean on. Again, it comes down to old school business principles, stuff that's been true for hundreds of years. If it's not on the showroom floor, ain't nobody giving you money for it. You're welcome, Cindy. But again, take that for whatever it's worth. Everybody's got their own hustle, full-time job. You're doing things a little bit differently. You might have little kiddos running around. There's all kinds of different things that make each of our businesses very unique. But since we're having the conversation and you threw it out there, I always lie on that. If it ain't listed, it ain't got to sell. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate it. It got a broken snap on the bottom, but I think it's fine. All right, y'all. I'm going to sign off. I appreciate it. I was trying to decide between you. I don't even know who that is. Kayla's really nice. I appreciate it, Kristen. Appreciate it. I'm going to sign off for the day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. At some point, I'm going to pop on. I'm going to ship out orders. You'll get a little notification if you've already followed me. Thanks, everyone, for hitting the like button. Give me a follow if you want to watch the recording of this and see the 23 items that I brought home from the thrift store today with some commentary. This is available on YouTube and Facebook as a replay at all times. Facebook, YouTube, it'll be available in 5 seconds over there if you want to go watch it. You can fast forward through the boring stuff, too. Peace.